So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Facebook Live of Xenith Advanced Fertility Center. I'm Dr. Mamta Dighe. I am the director of Xenith Advanced Fertility Center. We are based in Wakad as well as Goregaon Park in Pune. Just a little bit about myself. I am an OBGYN and a reproductive medicine specialist with over 22 years of experience in this field. I started working in IVF way back in 1999, and I'm amongst the first few people in our country to have completed a fellowship in this field and actually do a degree in reproductive medicine. I have worked for several years with Padma Shri Dr. Kamini Rao in Bangalore, and then have established the IVF Center at Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital and worked as the program director there for over 7 years. After which I established Xenith Advanced Fertility Center, and it is a full-fledged infertility. We rather prefer calling it a fertility center and a reproductive medicine unit with subsections of andrology, fertility enhancing endoscopy, hormonal assessment, the andrology lab, IVF lab, and we conduct A to Z all the procedures that are involved with fertility. We have been acknowledged as, the topmost single specialty IVF center in Pune, as per the nationwide survey conducted by the Times of India group for the last 3 years, and also recognized by a survey done by PricewaterhouseCoopers, as the most emerging IVF center. I've always been very, very passionate about doing infertility and left my routine obstetrics and gynac work way back just to concentrate on this field. The upside about this has been that I've had the time and the opportunity to really interact with my patients and understand, what are those things that go beyond medicine, that just go beyond prescribing a tablet or tracking ovulation. And this is something that I want to talk to you about today. We are in the first month of the new year, which is always a new beginning, everything all of us look forward to. Especially, as we try to overcome this time that we've grappled with the pandemic and are looking forward to seeing it end in some way. Every year is a new beginning, and time has its own way of mending and healing and helping so many things that we go through. However, what I have seen is that time is not always the healer for people who are dealing with infertility, because every moment or every month that passes without conception is like another day gone by. And it in fact builds up more and more anxiety and apprehension amongst couples when every time they are looking forward to a missed menstrual cycle, and instead of that the periods arrive on time, signifying another failed attempt at pregnancy. Especially in the digital and the instant world that we are living, it is becoming more and more difficult. And that is why the topic that I have selected today as we embark on the new year is why mindset matters in conception. And I want to, bring this forward for whoever is listening to it, whoever may want to share it, and whoever may come across this later, because I truly feel that there is more to pregnancy than just tracking ovulation, timing intercourse, or taking medications for fertility. So what are the things that will actually help us towards our goal in conception, and also help us to deal with the anxiety, difficulties, low emotional thresholds that we get into or vibrations that we get into when we are dealing with infertility. That is what we are going to look at today. So most of the couples nowadays that I have seen tend to plan everything in life. So, we plan our, what we want to study, we plan our degrees, we plan our marriage, and we tend to also plan our pregnancies. And the term planning today has more to do with how can we postpone pregnancy and how can we get our child into our lives when we are prepared or ready for pregnancy emotionally, financially, in whatsoever aspect it may mean for the couple. But when you are planning for a pregnancy, sometimes the biological aspects are not taken into consideration. And then when couples actually start planning or start desiring for a pregnancy, and it does not happen instantly or it does not happen over a period of time, it brings forth a lot of apprehension, anxiety, and even at times depression. And then this kind of shifts, the looking forward, the happiness, the anticipation for a pregnancy, the happy anticipation for a pregnancy shifts from this towards something like a dread and being worried about the next menstrual cycle is going to come, and if you're going to lose one more month again. So the whole focus tilts from an anticipation to a dreadful feel for the couple when pregnancy does not happen time and time again. Many couples, in fact most of the couples who come to me, always discuss about how they should plan their diet. Is there anything that they need to decrease weight or put on weight? And all these things are extremely important. In fact, there are women who are so careful about monitoring their menstrual cycles that they have the dates of their menstrual cycle going way back 6 months written in their diaries, or they have apps or gadgets which are going to help them track their ovulation and going to tell them that, okay, like you have those pop-ups, probably today is the time that you're ovulating, and today is the time that you probably need to have intercourse. And all this is happening all the time. They have everything written down. They have the ovulation monitoring kits, and they have the time when intercourse is supposed to happen. And in fact, all this builds up so much pressure for them that the need or the pressure to actually have the intercourse on a particular day actually goes and defeats the purpose of having the pregnancy because of the stress that it builds up, and then the difficulty of actually timing your intercourse which sets in. So there are so many things that couples do, in terms of making sure that fitness is best, you're eating good, you're timing your ovulation, you're timing the intercourse. But in all this process, what we forget is that there are other things to pregnancy than just looking at these things. And today we are going to see what those other things are. What I want to bring in is have you ever considered whether, why, and how mindset matters in conception? Now, I actually went and tried to find out how do you define mindset, and this is what I found out. So, mindset is a mental attitude or disposition which predetermines a person's response to and interpretation of situations. I'm just going to repeat this. It is an attitude or disposition which predetermines a person's response to or interpretation of situations, which means, your mindset is going to help you give a response to the situation that you are in, And it is also going to help you interpret the situation that you are in. So what this means is that given the same situation, a different mindset is going to help you respond differently to the given situation, and it is going to help you view the given situation in a different way. And if we decide to have a different mindset, a positive mindset, a more welcoming, a more holistic or embracing mindset to conception, we probably will make things easier for ourselves. Now, this is not just mumbo jumbo. There is a lot of scientific evidence which goes to show how the mind and body are a unit, helping us to function better and helping us have healthier lives. Now, health is not just in terms of, your cardiac health and, your bone health. Health is reproductive health as well. And when you have a mindset that helps you, deal with situations better, we know that it helps the body secrete the hormones or the substances which are beneficial for the body. So we have two systems in the body, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic system is the one which deals with the fight and flight mechanism. So, we either are fighting or we are running. So we are either scared or we are angry. And in fact, anger is in a way, just the flip side or the other side of fear. But this is where we are responding from. And when we are doing this, there is a lot of secretion of catecholamines and adrenaline in the body and cortisol, which are hormones which are detrimental to a pregnancy, which are detrimental to the menstrual cycle, the quality of the oocyte, and for the embryo implantation. Whereas if we work more from the parasympathetic side, the hormones that are secreted are the oxytocin and the other hormones which are more relaxing for the body. And in fact, we know that the progesterone hormone, which is secreted in pregnancy, which is required in pregnancy, is a hormone which quietens everything down. So it kind of causes quiescence of the uterine muscles. It causes quiescence. So there is something, a quiet calmness which is required at the level of the body for a conception to happen. And by driving ourselves, so much in the process of wanting a pregnancy, we probably are not looking at the other aspects which are actually becoming a problem to the whole process of conception. Also, I have seen that a lot of people who have difficulty in conception, or as we term them, are infertile, there are, especially in the women, there are a lot of feelings of guilt, shame, regret, envy, at other women being able to conceive and they not being able to conceive. And all these are very, very understandable, but they are not helpful. In fact, they are detrimental. So irrespective of whether these emotions come up, what we need to learn is how to process them. Because if the processing does not happen in the right way, then these are going to actually engulf us and take us down the line or down the path that we do not want to go. And achieving our goal of pregnancy will become even more difficult. Because all these emotions are at a very low vibration and cause more worry, more apprehension, and in fact, like I said, scientifically can cause a hormone imbalance in the body, can cause secretion of substances which are not conducive for a good embryo or a good implantation process in the body. Hence, how your mindset is matters a lot in pregnancy. Now, everything, when we talk about emotions or we talk about a mindset is not at all just, being happy and having positive thoughts. But even if you look at yourselves, if there are times when there is excess apprehension, excess worry, what do we tend to do? We won't sleep at night. We're probably going to be on Google trying to research on things and try to find out a solution to what we want. And the same thought will keep playing in our mind over and over and over again. And how do you define worry, right? Worry is a thought which kind of persistently goes on in your mind without having an end or a solution, or without you being able to look at a path or a way through it. And that's the reason it goes on and on in a vicious cycle. So there are a lot of things that we do to ourselves and our bodies when we do not process things properly. Like, for example, you may overeat and it might increase obesity. So on one hand, we are trying to look after our diets, and on the other hand, the stress, the anxiety is causing us to overeat, to not sleep well, to constantly be on gadgets where probably, the whole, there are continuous radiations all over which are going on, with 10 Wi-Fis around the house. We have multiple gadgets going on all the time. And yes, we need to use them. But yes, we definitely can keep them aside, for a certain point in time. But this is precisely what we do not do when we cannot process things properly, and we tend to do exactly the opposite of what may be conducive for our health, our body, and for our pregnancy. So these are the things that I would like everyone to actually try and understand, that on the one hand, when we are trying to look at how we can go towards our goal of pregnancy, inadvertently, because of our inability or our lack of understanding how mindset matters in conception, we are actually doing things to our mind and to our body which are actually taking us away from our goal of conception. So how can we develop a much better mindset towards conception? And probably because I am someone, like in one of my FB lives, I have said that, I am somebody who, I am an allopathic doctor and practice so much of it, but I also am somebody who believes that there is some science to traditional and ancient wisdom that has been, has been there for ages. And I also truly believe that probably as a doctor and as people today, we have to try and see how we can have a combination of great Western medical technological advances and the wisdom from our traditional sciences to understand what and how we can develop all aspects of our health better. So developing a good mental attitude is not just about, having happy thoughts and, kind of pushing your negative thoughts or your worries behind. Anything that is not brought to light, if you're going to suppress it, is going to keep troubling us all the time. So in fact, it is time that we brought our difficulties, our shadows to light so that we are able to deal with it in a much better way. So there is more to developing a positive mindset and a conducive mindset for pregnancy than just trying to suppress the feelings that you are feeling, or just, pushing yourself to have happy thoughts. And like I said, optimism or belief is not in ignoring the negativity, but it is in acknowledging that there is a problem. It is in acknowledging that, there are feelings, emotions that you are going through, but choosing to believe that in the end, you will be able to work out of things one way or the other. and going on and continuing on that path. So I remember I had read something sometime, and it said that faith is knowing that there is an ocean because you have seen the pond. So sometimes, because you have seen certain things, it's you need to have faith when things are not working well. So when you assess everything that you have and then decide to walk the path, to do the right things and not get yourself engulfed in things which are not going to be conducive for a pregnancy, is what a positive mindset all about. Now, are there some things that we can do to inculcate a mindset that can help us towards conception? So when you talk about mindset, you can have different aspects. One is the emotional aspect, one is the cognitive aspect, and one is the behavioral or your occupational and the other aspects. So what do you mean by these three aspects? So when I talk about emotional, it is how do you deal and process your emotions. So there are different methods. First is understanding the emotions that you have, not suppressing them, not denying them. If you are feeling anger, if you are feeling that something unjust has been done to you because you're not being able to get pregnant, it doesn't mean you need to suppress them, but we need to rise above them. So the things that help in the emotional aspect of the mindset, we know that there are many things that will help in this, such as meditation. Meditation is a very important factor that can help you. Just 15 minutes of sitting quietly just by yourself and focusing your thoughts for 5 minutes, or 15 minutes on nothing, or just your breath, where you just let it flow in and out, is a wonderful way of grounding yourself. The second is breathing practices, like we all know, like pranayam. So if you start your day with just again focusing on your breath, and we have such wonderful practices in yoga and breath work that you can pick up any one of those practices and start doing your breath work as soon as you wake up in the morning and even before you sleep at night. The next is yoga. Yoga is not just about some poses. Yoga is to actually transcend and become one. So when you're actually doing the whole yogic exercises and the asanas, it helps a complete synchronicity between the mind and the body, which is going to have a complete holistic well-being effect on your health as well as your reproductive health. Mindfulness is again one practice which has been developing. It is like a combination of so many things. And I would also say sometimes that if you are getting overwhelmed by certain things or certain emotions at that point in time, instead of getting into a practice of maybe going into that getting sucked into something where you start feeling lower and lower, you can just call up a friend, talk to somebody, distract yourself, go look at something else, and then come back to what you were trying to deal with, and maybe you will be able to deal with it in a much better manner rather than when the emotions were very high. So these are some aspects of the way emotionally you will be able to create a much better mindset. In terms of what is cognition really? Cognition, it has got to do with everything that is related to your understanding and how you process things, how you find out about things. So when you actually have a mindset which is more positive, which is more grounded, you will probably look for the right things that will lead you to the right place and the right understanding of what you should do to plan your pregnancy. Many times when we are caught up in this, loop, it becomes difficult for us to understand what we want. It becomes difficult for us to take the right decisions, which could be very practical decisions. But we sometimes become unable to do those things. So, a part of mindset is also doing the right things, understanding the right things, and taking the right decisions. And all this is going to again come from a place when you are more calm, collected, more on the positive side, understanding that yes, there is a difficulty in dealing with something, but yes, there are avenues, and this is the way that I am going to plan my path to reach where I need to go. So when your mindset is right, even the practical decisions, so everything is not about just sitting in one corner and closing your eyes and breathing. Ultimately, we have to put into action what we decide or how we feel when we are sitting by ourselves in a calm state. So all this is only going to help when you start putting into action very calmly and in a very understanding manner the things that come to you, or which you are more able to do when you are in a better position to process your emotions and deal with them. Therefore, not only does the right mindset or the processing your emotions and looking at it and carrying out practices help in making you feel better, but it also drives you to doing the right things, because you're kind of changing your path, you're aligning yourself with what you want. So what do we actually say? What are the 3 aspects of going towards what you want? There are 3 aspects of going towards what you want. The first is intention, the second is trust, and the third is attention. So when you look at intention, the intention is all there, right? The intention is that we want a pregnancy. The couple wants a pregnancy. I want to become a mother. I want to become a father. I want to experience parenthood. So the intention is there. Unfortunately, when the trust is lacking, when the calmness is lacking, when the mindset is lacking, your attention is not in alignment with your intention. Your attention is towards, oh my God, I'm not getting pregnant. Oh my God, I missed this month also. Oh my God, we could not time our intercourse right. Oh my God, I got my menses again. And I'm not saying that, women should not go through this. We will. These are natural human emotions. But if they are not going to really be helpful, then it is only up to us to understand how we can change this. So what happens is the whole attention is focused on why the pregnancy is not happening, why parenthood is not coming easily, why things are going against what we want, and the missing piece probably is the mindset, is the trust. Because if the mindset is right, your attention will align with your intention. And when attention and intention aligns, then the process and the coming of the pregnancy, drawing the pregnancy into your life is going to be much, much easier. And if not that, at least going through the fertility treatments for many couples. And it is a fact that there is infertility today for various reasons, not just, so you can't just cure infertility by, doing meditation and doing a breathing technique, but maybe you can make the process much easier. Maybe you can help things, which are not in your control, beyond a control, but are influencing pregnancy in some way by doing these practices, and help yourselves to achieve the pregnancy much faster and in a much better way. Because like the famous sentence goes that it's not just the destination. The journey is equally important. So it is important to understand that we make the journey as much better for ourselves as we think we are going to be only when we achieve the destination or the dream of parenthood. So I am going to leave you all. I know I've been talking for the last half an hour. I am going to touch upon a few things which all of us can do to probably, like I said, I like this, that like I said, align our attention and intention and keep ourselves calmer and keep ourselves in a place of gratitude and understanding. I had also actually, I remember listening to a talk. I do not now remember where it was, but it was about this mother who had a handicapped child, and she had to look after this child and, kind of completely give her nearly complete 24 hours to the child, and it was definitely causing her a lot of difficulty and emotional trauma. And one of her teachers said that, you need to learn gratitude. And she said, I practice gratitude and I am grateful for, whatever has been happening in my life. And her teacher said that, have you ever given gratitude to the fact that you have this child? And I remember her talking and saying that I could not understand why I should give gratitude when I am going through so much of difficulty and pain. But I listened to my teacher and decided to do that, and it changed my life. So there are certain things that can go and help us in our journey towards whatever it may be we are dealing with. It could be infertility for some, it could be health issues for some, it could be financial issues for some. But like I said, today I'm going to touch upon a few things that we can do probably, which will help us, have a much fresher mindset, let me say, different from what continuously goes on in our mind, a much healthier mindset, if I may say so, and a much happier mindset, a much more capable mindset to, help us in this journey towards parenthood. So what are these few tips that I want to leave you with? So first, I think probably enjoy nature. I mean, get in touch with nature. Maybe walk with your feet, bare feet, touching the earth, touching the ground, touching the mud, and kind of try to feel how it feels. Touch the trees, touch the leaves, be out in the open, sit by a stream, sit by a pond, just watch the birds flying. I mean, everything that can connect us back to our true nature, because all of us are beings of the same planet Earth, and if we kind of get in touch with this more and more, it is going to change things within us for the better more and more. So being out in nature is a wonderful way of just calming yourself. And these are such simple things that you do not have to do anything. Like, if somebody tells you, think positively, it's difficult. You can't think positively all the time, but you just go out in nature and then you're not thinking anything. You're just enjoying what is there around you. So, going out in nature, being one with nature, doing as much as you can with nature is a wonderful way of calming yourself down. I have written some things that I want to tell you. Yeah. So a second is laugh as much as you can. Again, difficult at times, but again, a wonderful thing because it is going to help you a lot, and it is going to help you secrete all the good hormones and the good substances in your body, which will give you a feel better whole environment around you. So again, laugh as much as you can. Small things, it could be small things, but just enjoy whatever you can at that given point in time. The third is walking. When we say that just there are a lot of times when we say that, oh, are you overthinking, just go out and take a walk and you'll feel much better. But there is science behind it, because when you walk, especially when you're doing this walking with your hands right left, you are aligning both the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. And then one hemisphere or one part of the brain is not overthinking, or like we say, it is the left side because it is associated with your right part of doing. So instead of that, the right brain, which is the creative brain, the right hemisphere, also starts getting activated. And that is why when you align both the hemispheres, you are definitely going to feel better. So go out, take a walk, maybe a brisk walk, move your hands a little bit, and you will see that you're going to start feeling better and better. So don't just walk thinking that you're going to lose weight. Walk because it's going to make you enjoy it, and it's also going to align your right and left hemisphere of the brain. Take a break, take a mental break from constantly thinking about pregnancy and conception and monitoring your cycles and, doing everything. Do everything. Of course, take your medicines. Of course, know what is the, fertile window. Of course, plan your intercourse around that time. But don't kind of, get so attached to it that this is the time, this is the day. It does not serve any purpose. So take a break from, constantly being totally engulfed in things around your pregnancy. I think another very important thing is a lot of people, especially the women who are facing infertility, constantly have to deal with people who will many a times, purposely actually go and try and ask them about their plans of pregnancy, and why haven't they conceived, why are they delaying pregnancy, what things can be done to help. So there are people who are doing it out of really wanting to help and will give you the positive side of it, and there may be some people who will try to do it just so that they kind of maybe put you down or make you feel a little lesser than yourself, and whatever other reasons it can be. So try and hang around with people who are positive. Try and hang around with people who will show you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, irrespective of how dark things may seem to you, because again, that is going to help you. And you yourself always try to look for the silver lining. That is going to help. The other things, like I said, breathing practices. Start doing some breathing practices on a day-to-day basis. Start sitting for 5-10 minutes, trying to breathe in and breathe out. And, whatever thoughts come in your mind, either let them flow, or you can always say that I have the remaining, 23 and a half hours to think about these thoughts constantly. So maybe for 15 minutes, if I don't let these thoughts come into my mind, it's not going to, take me, become a big problem. So you don't need to suppress those thoughts then. You just let, the breath flow and everything flow. So start getting into some kind of breathing and meditation and all these practices. Exercise, again, exercise, not just yoga, other exercises also. If you may be doing, you like it, you could be doing Zumba, you could be doing dancing, and whatever form of exercise you like, please get into some kind of an exercise regime. Diet. Now, what is diet? People associate diet with calorie restriction. But please understand that diet is not just about calorie restriction. Diet is nutrition. So what nutrition are you feeding your body with? What are you putting in? Because what you put in is, so many things. As they say that your gut health, the health of your intestine and your gut is related to your brain health. And it's funny, but when I went back and started referring to my embryology, I I remember that yes, it is actually the gut which kind of folds upon itself, and that is the part, the upper part from where the brain is formed. So even embryologically, your gut is related to your brain. So what you put in is going to influence how good you feel and how your mind works. So look after your diet and nutrition and make sure that you're putting in good nutrition in your body. Celebrate small wins, like if you have decided on losing weight and your target is 10 kgs, but if you've lost 2 kgs, celebrate. You have to, everything is a path. We are not going to reach the destination in like just one leap. It could take us small steps. So celebrate every step. Be good to yourself, treat yourself. I think all these together are going to help you create a much better mental attitude and a mindset. Talk to your friends, be close with your spouse. A lot of times, because of the stress that infertility poses on couples, it becomes difficult for the couple to help each other out. For one person to care for the other who has gone into a deep stressed level. So even the other person could get stressed. So it is important that you talk to each other. Even if one person is getting overwhelmed by taking care of the other person's stress, talk to each other. It is okay to tell the other person that you are getting overwhelmed. Seek support. Speak to a psychologist if need be, but do not just let all these emotions get locked up inside you, because they will find a way to work out their way through the body in some other kind of an illness or other kind of a health problem. So make sure that you do that. Yes, and I think these are the few tips that I would like to say. And like I said, this small thing, which I don't know when I heard this talk, it was probably a very long back, but it has stayed with me about giving gratitude even for the things which we probably think are not good for us. So there is something that, it helps us learn. So this, along with all the other things that we have, probably the health, the ability to be in an age where there are so many treatments available for infertility and helping you achieve your dream of parenthood, which were never there some time back, and it's only getting better and better with technology. So being in this space and this age where there are solutions available, so that itself can kind of make you feel that yes, there is hope, and hope is always there. So giving gratitude for small things, random things, will again make you feel better. And like I say, being happy for everything that's happening, because many times there is a lot of anger and envy where couples feel, especially women, because they are constantly being talked down on about not being able to conceive, but being happy even when you are around other children. Do not doing this avoidance technique to keep yourself away or locked up from meeting other people. It is actually going to probably just keep you in a space where you feel caught up. So definitely go out and meet people who you feel good with. Again, that is something that is going to help you. So without taking any more time, I'm going to wind down this session, and I hope that I have made some points about why mindset and how mindset plays a crucial part in conception, and how we can do certain things which will help us either achieve a pregnancy or at least make the process of going through any kinds of treatments much more easier on us as well as our loved ones. So thank you for joining us today. And please do let us know if you have any other questions, queries regarding this topic, any other topic that you would like us to talk on or touch upon. And a big request to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and do send us your queries on our email info@xenith.clinic. It's always a pleasure to be here with all of you. And whether now or later, whenever you kind of have the opportunity to have a look at this video. And thank you so much for being with us. Wishing you all a very wonderful weekend. Thank you.